Hello and welcome. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari, to enhance the operational resources of the armed forces, launches 2016 Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem. The Nigerian army commends soldiers for repelling insurgents in Gwoza local government area of Borno State. The Senate to begin the probe of the former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ibrahim Lamorde, tomorrow. And French President François Hollande vows to destroy ISIS after Friday's deadly attacks in Paris.
On business news, stock markets in London and Frankfurt hold firm, but travel and leisure shares fall as investors worry about the impacts of the Paris attacks.
And on sports news tonight, Nigeria's Super Eagles aim to seal a place in the next round of the 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifiers as they lock horns with Swaziland in Port Harcourt tomorrow.
Mop-up operations in parts of Borno State, northeast Nigeria, are ongoing to liberate more towns previously occupied by insurgents. A collaboration between men of the 7th Division and the Special Task Force along Gamboru area of the state has led to the recapture of Busheshe, Gwoza and some other towns in Gamboru. Aerial bombardment by the 79 Strike Group is also paving way for the foot soldiers to reclaim more territories.
Friday, November 13, is a day the people of Gwoza will not forget in a hurry. Hundreds of insurgents had returned to recapture Gwoza, a town they consider a strategic hideout. This is what is left of Gwoza, an empty town in ruins. Residents of Gwoza are now homeless, their buildings destroyed, their schools and places of worship have all disappeared. This crowd of people, mostly women and children, wait their turn for a portion of food, cooked and distributed by the National Emergency Management Agency and other donor agencies. For the troops, winning the battle against the insurgents that Friday took over 2 hours of steady gunfire, and at the end of the day, the insurgents were repelled.
We expect that all the liberated areas we begin to see civilians coming back to their places of abode, and then we have the paramilitary organization and then some civil authority coming here so that people can come back to their homes and begin their lives.
In appreciation of their commander's exemplary leadership, the officers and men get down to partake in some exercises. Now that the Nigerian military has taken full charge of the entire town, once referred to as a commercial nerve center of the region, there's hope that Gwoza will soon return to life as many knew it.
While the President Muhammadu Buhari says he's concerned about the suffering of veteran soldiers who fought to keep Nigeria united, he also says that his government will attend fully to the operational needs of the armed forces. The President was speaking at the launch of the 2016 Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem, where he also donated 10 million naira. At a brief ceremony held at the Council Chamber of the Presidential Villa, the President challenged the Minister of Defense to come up with programs that will enhance the welfare of the veterans in appreciation of their service to the nation. Our correspondent Omelogo Nadi reports.
Senior military officers, ministers, members of the diplomatic corps and other senior government officials converged on the State Council chambers to commemorate the launch of the emblem to mark next year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day on January 15. The launch of the emblem, which occurs every year, is usually an opportunity to seek ways to improve the operational powers of the armed forces and also the lots of dependents of fallen heroes ahead of the Remembrance celebration.
The campaign against terrorism, piracy, kidnapping and all theft and other security challenges in the country has taxed the resourcefulness of our armed forces. In the course of these operations, lives were lost, varying degrees of injuries were sustained by officers and men of the armed forces. Those who lost their lives were responsible members of the society. We therefore owe them as a nation and as a people to give them this solemn and benefit honor. We owe them recognition, support, and love.
Coming at a time when Nigeria is challenged by terrorism, government sees the celebration as crucial, as President Buhari highlighted the need to support the legions to encourage those alive in the task ahead.
One of the ways we can appreciate the sacrifices of our fallen heroes and veterans is by making generous donations. Further to this, after the emblem launch, I encourage all Nigerians to procure and wear the emblem with pride throughout the remembrance period. This will show that we appreciate the sacrifices of our fallen heroes and veterans, and also assure those still serving that their services to the fatherland will never be forgotten.
The president was decorated with the redesigned emblem as the grand patron of the Nigerian Legion, thereby commencing the period of remembrance for the fallen heroes. The Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration, which began on the 11th of November, would be concluded on the 15th of January 2016, with wreath laying by the military and heads of the 3 tiers of government. Omelogo, Nadi Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria has restated its commitment to global peace through the promotion of activities that will improve the cordial relationship it has with its neighbors. According to the Minister of Defense, Mr. Muhammad Dan Ali, who was addressing the 2015 Annual Conference for Defense Advisors and Attachés, combating the threat of international terrorism requires the cooperation of all countries.
It's a gathering of defense advisors and attachés as the Defense Intelligence Agency organized its 2015 annual conference. The Chief of Defense Intelligence set the tone for the conference as he challenged defense advisors and attachés to be alive to their responsibilities at all times.
Sound policy can be formulated with sound intelligence and analysis. Intelligence gives us the ability to act rather than to react, to be in control of the situation rather than having to respond to the actions of others. As such, we need within the brief spans of your assignment to our diplomatic mission to ensure that you become the critical elements of understanding the strategic terrain as well as the principal links with our allies and adversaries.
The Ministry of Defense reaffirmed the government's commitment to ending insurgency in the country and promised that Nigeria will continue to pursue the path of peaceful coexistence with all its neighbors.
As a nation, we must make usable choices, maximally employ our opportunities, engage partnership to promote our defense interests while projecting our national values by being a more functional and respected player in the international system. For Nigeria as a nation, the choice is clear. We will continue to pursue the path of peaceful development and independent defense policy for peace. As our eyes before the world in your respective areas of responsibility, you must firmly be committed to building a new model of relationship with your host countries, which is characterized by no conflict, no confrontation, mutual respect, and win-win cooperation.
With the theme, Enhancing the Defense Attaché's System Towards a Sustainable National Security in Nigeria, participants at the conference will, among other issues, brainstorm on the effective utilization of the Defense Attaché system in the consolidation of counter-terrorism efforts in Nigeria.
Now, barring any unforeseen changes, the resumed probe of the former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ibrahim Lamode, by the Senate is expected to hold tomorrow. Mr. Lamode is scheduled to appear before the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions to answer questions on the petition against him by Dr. George Ubo on allegations of diversion of funds. The chairman of the committee, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, who confirmed this, said the committee's schedule requires Mr. Lamode to appear before it tomorrow, November the 17th. The former EFCC chairman was to appear before the committee last week Tuesday, but the process was suspended without an explanation for the committee's action. Hearing in the suit filed by the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, seeking an enforcement of the order of a federal high court has been stalled following the absence of the Attorney General of the Federation. At the resumed hearing of the suit, the Solicitor General of the Federation, Mr. Taiwo Abigungu, told the court that the Attorney General of the Federation needs time to study the case file. The application for adjournment by the Solicitor General was, however, not opposed by a lawyer to Colonel Dasuki. Justice Adeni Ademola subsequently adjourned the suit to November the 23rd for hearing.
It was a very brief sitting. The Solicitor General of the Federation came and informed the court that they have just resumed office, that himself and the Attorney General of the Federation, and he needed time to brief the Attorney General. So the matter has been adjourned to next Monday. I'm sure before then the higher authorities will do what is meet and proper in the circumstances.
In part two, after the break, Governor Rochas Okorocha calls for national unity as he urges Nigerians to be tolerant while showing more respect for the rule of law. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.